Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory has 5 kids getting golden tickets to go into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. But as the tour goes on, the kids start to uh, disappear. So the positives on this movie are it's a super creative movie. The sets are actually pretty awesome. The whole factory is cool. I love the candy room when they go into there. Um, and even when they first come into the factory, they have hands take their coats and hats. That was pretty cool. The small room before they get into the candy room was like quirky and weird and just really cool. I love Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder's version. I love his interpretation of Willy Wonka. It's such a quirky character. He's whimsical. He tries to help Charlie learn the errors of his ways, as well as Augustus, Violet, Veruca, and Mike to a degree. But he's just so off the wall and like quirky that he's just so fun to be around. The songs are great. They're iconic. I've Got a Golden Ticket is such a great song. When it took like I don't know, 30 to 40 minutes before Charlie actually got a golden ticket. And so when you finally see him get a golden ticket, he starts to sing that song with Grandpa Joe. So that was just such a great, catchy song. Pure Imagination is spectacular when we finally get to see the candy room and we get to see all this candy that they can eat. Again, that song is really good. And the Oompa Loompa songs are really catchy. Maybe a little, maybe a little repetitive every time a kid gets lost. So it can get a little boring here and there, but honestly, I think they're still really catchy. And the final positive is the tunnel sequence. Now, this used to freak me out as a kid. So they get on this boat in the Chocolate River, and then they go into a tunnel, and then a lot of scary images start playing on the screen. I'd imagine that scared a lot of people when they were kids. But there actually kind of is a purpose to it. You know, you watch videos on YouTube, you can kind of see an explanation, and so there's kind of an explanation of why this scary tunnel is in this movie. And it tells Willy Wonka if the kids can handle the unpredictable and hard times running a factory. So I think that's a good motive enough to have in the movie because like everyone else is freaking out, but for the most part, Charlie and Grandpa Joe are not freaking out until like the very end when Wonka starts singing. But for the most part, they were pretty calm with it. So while everyone else was just screaming, saying, "Stop, stop, I want to go back." So it has motive enough of why it's in the movie. And that's it for positives. On to the negatives. And I don't have too many negatives. One negative is the Chocolate River. I don't think looks very appetizing. It looks like diarrhea. In fact, the remake, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, actually has a better looking Chocolate River. That's one thing that movie actually did better than this movie. And the only other negative is I have never liked the Cheer Up Charlie song. It's slow. which is the main purpose of why I don't like it. But when you get into it, I don't think it really serves a purpose because we know Charlie is gonna eventually get into the chocolate factory. Why do we need a song to tell him he needs to cheer up and it'll get better? I mean, like, it's not like this huge disappointing thing of like, oh, is he gonna get in the chocolate factory or not? Well, so it doesn't really serve a purpose. I mean, we've been following Charlie for 30 minutes at this point. At this point in the movie when we get this song, and it's like, are we just gonna cut randomly to a different character? Are we just gonna follow Mike TV for the rest of the movie, or what? Because that really wouldn't be good payoff if we followed Charlie for like 30 minutes and then, oh, it turns out he's not getting in the chocolate factory. It's one other random kid and also the other 4 kids. So I've never liked that song. It's slow. I don't really think it serves a purpose. But that's it for negatives. In the end, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. It's great. It's one of the older movies that are one of my favorite movies of all time, because I typically tend to love 80s movies. There's a few 90s movies that I love, 2000s, 2010s movies. Very rarely do I actually have a 70s movie that is one of my favorites, but Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is one of my favorite, really old movies that I love. So Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, almost a perfect movie. It is one of my favorite movies. It would be in like my top 20 movies of all time. So Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, I absolutely love it. Thanks for watching.